everyone and welcome to this video. This is going to be a vinyl update video. I think we're on to maybe vinyl update 40 now, or maybe 39, like I'm not sure, like whatever number it is. Like, it will just be today just showing you the records which I've got like over the last couple of months. So yeah, as usual there is quite a bit like of like variety here, like just like some things which I bought like out and about, like in like Edinburgh, like when I've been like record shopping, also some online purchases, and then like quite a rare sort of grail find for me, which I'll show at the end of the video. But firstly, got a few CDs. These first two here were bought at That's Entertainment shop, which I've spoken about before, like in like these vinyl update videos, just like a cheap like CD shop. I got these two here. First one is a Charlatans album called Telling Stories. Now this is very difficult to get like on vinyl, so that's why like I got the CD. Like, plus it is a brilliant record. Like, it is like considered like one of like the Charlatans' best albums, and like certainly like I think it is. Like, you've got some brilliant tracks like such as North Country Boy, One to Another, Telling Stories. It's a great record there. Next one, I thought I would give this band a try. I heard sort of great things like about this group, like quite a few people saying like sort of like check them out. So I bought the CD, like, and like I'm very glad I did. It is the best of Crowded House, the very best of Crowded House, in fact. This was issued in 1996, so it's basically just like their hits, like up to that point. So there are like a lot of great songs in here, such as like Weather With You, Fall at Your Feet. Locked Out is probably my favourite. Also love It's Only Natural, Mean to Me. Yeah, there's some brilliant tracks on here. This isn't in great condition. The CD kind of falls out the case like a little bit, but like it isn't like too bad. Like, plays really well. So yeah, like I was very glad to get this. Reminds me a lot of Squeeze, and like also like people said that this is kind of what the Beatles would have sounded like if like they carried on like into the 80s, which I can understand like that like comparison. But yeah, like so like if like you like sort of Squeeze, Crowded House like is like a really great band, I think. And then final CD is this one here, which I picked up like a good wee while ago. Fossil Fuel, the XTC singles, 1977 through to 1992 here. And this is absolutely fantastic. Just over the last couple of months, I've really been like getting like into like XTC, like almost like to like sort of like obsessive levels, really. I mean, like they are fantastic band. Like just like the way that their career kind of developed, like they kind of changed like with like each like record, but always kind of like maintaining like strong melodies, like, and like sort of like clever lyrics. So yeah, like this is just like their sort of greatest hits, like over two CDs. We will be seeing like a lot more like XTC like throughout this video as well. Okay, and then I've also got two DVDs here. I think I picked these up in HMV together. First one is Simon and Garfunkel, Old Friends, live on stage. This one is, I think it's a 2004 reunion concert, what they've done. Like, they've done like a tour like around about that time, so like it's kind of captured here. They do like all like the Simon and Garfunkel hits, but also some like more like obscure stuff like as well, like such as like Keep the Customer Satisfied, which is just like an album track, like At the Zoo, like I'm a Rock. So yeah, like I mean, like this is a fantastic concert. Like they still like had it like at this point, like Art Garfunkel like still had like a relatively good voice. Like there's some pictures like off like the show and that. So yeah, like this was a really like lovely concert, I thought. Like it also features like the Everly Brothers as well. Like they do like a couple of songs as well. So yeah, like it's always great to see them. So Simon and Garfunkel, Old Friends, live on stage. And then I also picked up this Stop Making Sense, the Talking Heads, absolutely legendary concert film from 1984 here. This is widely considered the best concert film like ever, and like really I can't like argue with that. Like not only like in terms of like the Talking Heads performance, like and like the songs they do, but just the way that the whole show was was like constructed, like the way like it's been like filmed here, like it's just really fantastic to watch. Like the band, it's so like energetic as well. So yeah, Stop Making Sense. Pretty basic packaging though. There's no booklet like or anything, but like it is a fantastic concert. Really like enjoy watching this. Okay, so now on to the vinyl records here. The first 6 I think were all from Edinburgh when I went and like when I went record shopping last time. The first 3 of these were from a shop which I've not been to for a good little while now. Like it was like basically like I think it was about at least like a year like since like I've been there, like probably longer. And I just wanted to see like if like they kind of like improved improved at the stock like which she had. Unfortunately, they hadn't really I was again still a little bit disappointed though. But I did manage to pick up 3 things there. The first one was kind of round the back, they've got a back crew full of cheap vinyl. So this was in I think a £2 bid or something. It's Haircut 100's album Pelican West. Now the reason why I got this one is because I really like Nick Haywood's solo stuff, his album North. His first solo record, North of a Miracle, has some great songs in it. So this was the group he was in before then, he was the main songwriter, and this is just kind of fun, sort of soulful pop music really, from 1982, some quite big hits on it, such as Love Plus One. I'm sure everyone knows the song Fantastic Day. So yeah, here's what the record looks like. No fancy in a sleeve, but just a really fun record here. It isn't a brilliant record, it isn't a brilliant album. It isn't going to get any awards for being best record of 1982 or anything, but certainly it was a fun kind of innocent pop record, and I do quite like Nick Haywood's voice again, his songwriting. Also little sort of Beatles aside, Paul McCartney fact here, the drummer of Haircut 100 guy Blair Cunningham drummed with Paul McCartney on the Off the Ground album and tour as well, so I just thought that I would point that out as well. Next one was in a sale bin at this record shop. So this was about £12, I think, for a brand new copy of the Stripes' second record called Little Victories. Now the Stripes are a great sort of new young band. They were supporting Paul Weller when I seen him. I bought this before actually seen them with Weller. I kind of just wanted to get to know some of the other work a little bit better, and this is a great record. It isn't as good as Spitting Image, but it is still a pretty solid album. Just got a nice sort of collage of photos in there. You get a inner sleeve here, and I think also a download code as well, which I don't think I've used yet. And again, on nice 180 gram vinyl. So yeah, another solid record here from the Stripes. They've only got 3 albums out so far, this being the second one. So yeah, another pretty good record here. Okay, so now the next one, I wouldn't normally buy stuff from this artist, but I've seen this one in the same shop as those, and it was a reasonable price for a original ish copy of this record. So I thought that I would pick it up, also because I got a really strong David Bowie connection. It's Iggy Pop's album The Idiot here. So this was kind of recorded about the same sort of time as Low by David Bowie, of course. And the big sticker there says produced by David Bowie. He co-wrote all off the tracks on here. And this isn't the most upbeat record by any means. This was the record which was apparently playing when Ian Curtis of Joy Division hung himself. So yeah, that kind of tells you. That kind of tells you what you need to know about the music audio. But yeah, I quite like some off the tracks here, Sister Midnight is a good opening song. Nightclubbing's quite fun, and also I probably prefer Iggy Pop's original version of China Girl on here, because probably not a lot of people know China Girl was originally released on this record in 1977, as opposed to sort of Bowie's big hit version of it from 1983. This was the original one. I do probably prefer Iggy Pop's version, but this is still a really great record. I'm not gonna get everything he ever put out. It was just because this was an important record in both his career, but also for David Bowie's development as an artist as well. So yeah, The Idiot here on vinyl. Okay, so then after I got those ones, I moved on to another shop in Edinburgh. This one's called Unknown Pleasures, and to be honest with you, I probably should have gone there first, because I ended up seeing these 3 records. I couldn't decide between them which ones I wanted, so I ended up just picking up all 3, which I probably shouldn't have done, but hey, I've done it, and I'm glad I've got them all now. So yeah, first one is Echo and the Bunnymen's record called Heaven Up here. I very rarely do I see these kind of 80s indie albums, so yeah, it's always nice to sort of pick them up. I love their record Ocean Rain, so like I was glad to get this one here. I don't know like as many songs that go on like this album, but I have played it though, like, and like I do quite enjoy it. Not in brilliant condition, it's a little bit worn, like out like the top there of a wee stain like on like the side, but this wasn't expensive like by any means. That's certainly, like if this was in like better condition, like I would imagine like it'd be going for about £20 plus this, but like I got this for like much less. So nice like inner sleeve as well, and the record is on this Cavona Records label there. I'm sure that's how like you say it. Like yeah, like not 100% there, but like yeah, not brilliant condition. A few wee scratches like on it, but like I'm like just glad to get a copy like off like this record, by Echo and the Bunnymen. Next record is actually very similar to that. Like it's also like not in brilliant condition. Like it's also by like a kind of like post-punk band, and like it's also like the second record like by this group here. So it was The Cure's second album called 17 Seconds here. So yeah, like this is a original UK copy as far as I know, and something told me like about it that it was pretty rare. Like I mean just kind of because you very rarely see like Cure things like on vinyl, and like when you do, like it is usually just like modern reissues. So this was a really nice pickup, like it's a sort of textured cover. Like I think that thing to look out for like with original copies like is this wee logo like in like the top corner there for Fiction Records. Like generally like if it's got that, like then like you've got like a like original copy like on like your hands. Unfortunately there's no like custom like inner sleeve for this one. I'm not sure like if like there ever was, but it is the music what matters, and this is a brilliant album here. Some of my favourite songs in here are like Air Reflection, Secrets, and A Forest, like is probably like the most popular track like on here. Again, the record, it is quite beat up. Like I mean, like I think this one was about £5, which for like a Cure record is like next to nothing. But like as you can see, it isn't in great shape. Plays okay though. Plays okay though, and like again, like it is just like another one which I'm glad to add to my collection. Like I think I've got about 3 Cure albums so far. So yeah, like again, like I'm very glad to get another one here. Okay, and then the last one from my record shopping in Edinburgh is this album, Talking Heads' Fear of Music. So yeah, like I've kind of been like recently like hunting down like Talking Heads vinyl. Like this is like the one which I just so happened to find. Like I think it was the only one that which it had like in like the store. So yeah, like I'm glad I picked this one up because it is probably the Talking Heads' best record, like in my opinion. Like I know, like I recently reviewed the debut, like and like I said that like nothing would really like come close to that for me. Whereas this one here, like I got this one after. I certainly think like is like every bit as good, like if not better than 77. Now this is quite a special copy of it. Not only do you get like the actual records here, like that, their lyrics on the back, but this one comes with a kind of promotional 7-inch single, which is a live version of Psycho Killer, backed with a song New Feelings, which is from like the debut album. So this is quite interesting. I haven't seen it paired with like the 7-inch before, but like again you see it says promotional copy, like not for sale. So this was a little bit more pricey, like, but like it is in fantastic condition, like really like both like records like and like actual like sleeve and that, like all like in like lovely shape. And this is, again, fantastic album. You've got a lot of great songs like Live During Wartime, Cities, Animals. Yeah, it's a great record, this here. Talking Heads, Fear of Music here. This was their third album, I think, from 1979. Okay, so earlier on in this video, I showed a XTC CD, and like I said that like there would be more coming up like in like this video. Like again, like when I was in Edinburgh that time, like I was hunting like for XTC stuff. Didn't see any, so like, that was kind of like my motivation like for going like onto eBay and like getting this job lot that it was 6 like XTC records here, like so I could just thought like I might as well get them like all like in like one go, because if it's going to be difficult to kind of find the game like the wild like and like you have to buy them like online, like it makes sense like just to pay one site for postage, like and like to get 6 like records like in that one go. So yeah, like I'll just go through like the ones which were included like chronologically. So first one is the debut White Music here. I haven't listened to this record yet. Like, I mean, like, it isn't considered to be one of their best albums though. Kind of like early development. Like, they were kind of like sort of quite punkish, like, on like this record. Like, I think I know one song on it. Oh no, this is Pop. Like, that's a fantastic song, and Statue of Liberty. Those two songs, fantastic. Not too sure like about the rest. It's just in a kind of generic sleeve. But like, I think that the original sleeve, like you see, like it's got like the Virgin Records logo on it there, and all these are in great condition here. I'll just quickly show off like the label there, Virgin Records label. So this is from, I think, 1978. This record came out, like early 1978. XTC's debut album, White Music. And then skipping ahead a few albums, the next one again at the package was Black Sea here from 1980. This is their fourth record, and this is an incredible album, really. So many classic tracks, like Respectable Street, Generals and Majors, Sodget Rock's Gonna Help Me, Towers of London. The list just goes like on and on, really. I'm not sure like if this is a original UK pressing, like, or like if it's like a later reissue. It doesn't have a original sleeve though, mind you. And like the record, it is on this kind of Virgin Records label, which is a different label, and like it looks to me like kind of like a later 80s record label, like rather than like one like from 1980. But like, again, like I'm not 100% sure. So like if someone's like maybe like knows a bit more like about like this record label, like history wise, like that would be like appreciated like in like the comments. But yeah, amazing album here from XTC. The next two kind of come together. First one is Waxworks, the best of XTC, all I think singles from 1977 through to 1982, which really covers like their sort of like new wave, like sort of like post-punk sort of period. So like again, like you've got like sort of like classic tracks on here, Making Plans for Nigel, Senses Working Overtime, Science Friction, Generals and Majors, yeah, just all off like the hit singles up to this point. And like again, like as like a companion piece to that, there was this one, Beeswax, which is the B-sides like from that era. So like again, like I don't know like any like off like the songs in here. This would be quite an interesting one to listen to, because I do quite like discovering bands like through like their B-sides. It can be like, I think like bands like Oasis, like I don't know, like the Smiths have B-sides which are like every bit as good, like if not better than some things which they put on like their albums. I'm not sure like if it's like the same story though for XTC, but like we'll soon find out like when we listen to the Beeswax compilation. And then the last two from the XTC package was the album's Mama here from 1983. This is again a slightly different record for them, like a bit more sort of like pastoral, like more like acoustic based. Like I mean, like you've got some other, you've got some great songs like Love on a Farm Boy's Wages, Great Fire, Wonderland's fantastic funk pop roll. So yeah, like a lovely like record here, I think. This is on a kind of custom like XTC Mama label. So yeah, very glad to get this one. And I'll just quickly move on to the last one, which is The Big Express here, 1984. So yeah, like again, another one which I'm very glad to get here. Like I've made like real progress with my XTC collection. This one, I don't think is considered to be one of their very best records. I think I can know a couple tracks on here like Wake Up, All You Pretty Girls, and This World Over. And like I must admit, like none of those are like really like among like my top 20 like XTC songs, say. So yeah, like this one though has nice packaging with it, like nice design to this record like as well, like quite sort of like railway themed. Okay, so now moving on to some online purchases. The first one is an album again by like another band which I've just been really like getting into like over like the last couple of months. I've already got the first 3 records. Like those all used to belong to my uncle. Like he like kind of let me have them. Like it's like Aztec Camera, like who like I'm talking about. So like the first 3 records are all really fantastic. Well, first 2. The third one like was a bit too kind of sort of like clean, like commercial pop for my liking. But this record, like I heard the singles from it. It's the album Stray, of course. I heard the singles Good Morning Britain and The Crying Scene, and those were quite sort of rocking songs. Good Morning Britain's a duet with Mick Jones like from The Clash, so like it kind of like has like a more sort of like rocking sound like compared to like the previous album Love. Unfortunately, that wasn't continued throughout the whole record. Most of like the other songs are quite slow, quite sort of ballady, and like also quite long as well. Like the first side, like there's only 4 songs, like so like they're really sort of like drawn out. So yeah, like, it isn't a great record here. Like I have to be honest with you. Like aside like from like the 2 singles from it, nice copy though. Like I got this one like on like eBay. It's quite plain. Label though, but like a nice condition though, like nonetheless. Aztec Camera Stray. This came out in 1990. Okay, next one is another online purchase, and like this I basically like I was on like the internet, like I kind of stumbled across like a videos like by like this band here called Graduate. Now like if I don't like who like these are, basically this is Roland and Kurt Smith, like Roland Orzabal and Kurt Smith, who would later form Tears for Fears. So this is the band what they were in before like Tears for Fears. It didn't really register with me like even like to listen to this, but like I ended up like kind of like just like stumbling across like a video like of them like performing like on like I think like some Dutch like TV show like back in like 1980. And like I actually really enjoyed the songs, probably more than some like Tears for Fears tracks, like if I'm being like honest with you. So like actually like I went on like eBay and I found like this nice copy like of their only record called Acting My Age. And yeah, this is just a great record. It's kind of like sort of like new wavy, kind of like sort of like mod revival sort of stuff. I think it's fantastic, really. Great songs in here are like Acting My Age, like Ever Met a Day. It's just like really melodic song. Like I mean, like it's just great stuff here. Quite a heavyweight vinyl as well, and it's on this Precision Records here. So Graduate, Acting My Age, worth a listen. Like if like you are like curious, like as to kind of like what they were doing like before Tears for Fears, because it's completely unlike the direction that they were going, and like again, like it's a record which no one really like knows about. I mean, like I like only just like stumbled across it, like when like I'd seen like these videos like on like YouTube like off them, like I didn't like even think that like they would have made like any television like appearances, because they're not really that well known. They didn't have like any hit singles and that. But yeah, Graduate here, a good record here called Acting My Age. Okay, so now the next one is a Oasis album. Like I've been again like ever since like Noel Gallagher's like new record came out, like Who Built the Moon. Like I've been really getting into like Oasis like a lot. Like I mean I haven't had like the opportunity to really sort of like go out like buy like all like the records, primarily because they are quite expensive, because it's usually like you have to get reissues and it's sort of about £20. Like it can't like kind of like blow that like all like in that one go like on like however many like Oasis records it is, about say 5 or 6 or something. Like so like I kind of like I've been taking it slow, like, and like I've this one though was recently reissued, I think only like in like America, and like actually they managed to get a copy of it like on a copy of it here like on like eBay like with free shipping actually, which like certainly suited me. It's Dig Out Your Soul, their last record. Now I want to give a wee shout out as well to a guy called Oliver Saunders. He does kind of like reviews and that like similar to mine. He's like a big like Oasis fan, like big Beatles fan, and Rolling Stones fan. So like if you're into any authors groups, I will leave a link to his channel like in the description. He recently reviewed this record, and like I think like he really loves this. Like it's like this ranks among like his favourite like Oasis records, and like I certainly think it is a very good record. Especially like the first sides. I think like I love pretty much like all the songs like up to Falling Down. Like after that it kind of does like go downhill a little bit, the album. Again, I love the design of this. It's just very psychedelic, like kind of like, I mean, like Noel Gallagher's, I suppose he's kind of copied it a bit like for like the design like of like Who Built the Moon, and this is a double pressing as well on two 45 RPM records here. So that's just what like the design of the first record looks like. And the second one, I'm sure, is very similar. There's no like lyric insert with this, I don't think. There's no sort of fancy like download card like or anything. But yeah, like that's just like the design of this one here. Like Oasis last record here, whether like it will like remain like the last, like remains to be seen. But certainly like it's like the last one they've made like up to this point in time. And like I do quite like it. I mean highlights on here probably Falling Down, the Shock of the Lightning, and The Turning, I would say, are the best tracks on here. Okay, so now for my first record from 2018 here. I bought this one, David Byrne's new record, American Utopia. Now, I really love this album, like I have to say. I mean, like I got this one because I'd heard the lead single, Everybody's Coming to My House, and just loved that song. I thought it was so kind of quirky, but also kind of very melodic, very current, and like I thought it was really good. It's his first solo record, like in about 15 years or something like that. Like, so like again, like it has got like a lot of like people like quite like buzzed, like and like interested in this record, and like I really like it. It's quite short, like it's about 37 minutes, like sort of perfect length, really. Like other highlights are like I Dance Like This, Every Day's a Miracle, Doing the Right Thing. Yeah, there's some great tracks on here. Just a plain like in a sleeve though, but it has a nice label, just this kind of pencil drawing like off like Burns' face on it, which is really cool. And you also get a kind of quirky insert as well, which if I just get out now, looks like this. It's a wee little booklet thing that kind of folds out. You get all the lyrics and stuff, and then this kind of artwork design on the other side. So yeah, like really, really nice record here. Whether it will remain my favourite album from 2018, like remains to be seen. Like there's certainly like records coming out by Johnny Marr, like and Paul Weller, which will probably give this like a run for its money. But certainly, like I wouldn't be surprised like if it does like stick in like my top 3, because I thought this was a terrific album. Okay, so now we are very, very, very close to the end of this video, like you'll be glad to know. And like the last things which I'm going to show was a record which are seen on Discogs, and like it's a bit like off like a Grail fan for me. However, the seller for this was only shipping like within like America, so I had to like get like my very good friend James Lobban to help me out. Like he got it shipped to his house and like then like posted it like onto me. But like he also chucked in like a kind of bonus record, which I'm like very grateful for. It is this record here, Depeche Mode, Music for the Masses here. Now I do quite like Depeche Mode. Like I'm certainly like aware of kind of like what like the musical style is, like who that they are, like some of like the songs like as well. Like I've got the first 4 records here. So like James sent me this, which I think is their 5th album from 1987, and I really love this. Like I mean, like I certainly like need to pay like a bit more attention to like their other stuff. Like I thought this was really, really great stuff here. Favourite songs are probably Strange Love, Behind the Wheel, and The Things You Said as well. Like it's a fantastic tune. So yeah, nice package into this one here, and the record again a nice like heavyweight, I think 200 gram vinyl here or something. Like it's really nice. So yeah, very grateful for James for just chucking this one in with the other record, which I'm just going to get to. So yes, and that other record is this, Paul Simon's Songs from the Cape Man, which this is been a record which I've kind of had a great difficulty trying to find. Like I mean, like it completes my Paul Simon collection now. Like I've got like all like of his studio records like on vinyl now. And if I'm being honest with you, this isn't a brilliant album. The Cape Man was a kind of musical like which like Paul Simon like helped to write. Like it was on Broadway like for about a week or something. Like it was a huge flop. Like I mean, like and like the songs themselves, like Paul Simon does most stuff like the vocals like on here, but like you have got like other people like I like assume that the cast like from like the shows like sort of singing that with him. I mean, it isn't really my thing, like this kind of like musical theatre sort of style like of music, but like also because it's like kind of set like it's set like in, I think it's like a Latin American thing about kind of like the crime culture there, like sort of gang culture and that. So and that's like it's a quite a difficult record for me to kind of like sort of like appreciate like and like kind of like relate to like lyrically. But like I mean, like, there are some good tunes in it, such as Born in Puerto Rico, Bernadette, that's probably the best track on here. Quality is quite a fun song. Killer Wants to Go to College, that's like a nice riff on that song as well. So yeah, very, very, very glad to get this one here. This is a US pressing, I believe that was only ever made like in like America. Comes with the lyric insert, which is always very, very nice. And like the record itself is just on this Warner Brothers label here. Quite thin vinyl though, but like certainly like one which is quite valuable, I have to say. Like I've like never seen like a copy of this like on vinyl before. Like I don't think I've ever seen like anyone like even show a copy like of this like on vinyl. So yeah, like I'm like very lucky to have this one here. Like again, like as I said with this, like thanks to James, like he was able to get it sent to his house like before like kind of like sending it like onto me. Like otherwise like I wouldn't like have got this. So yeah, thanks to James for that, and also thank you for watching this video. I'm just trying to like get the thing back in there without damaging it too much. But yeah, so yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time for the next review. Goodbye.
Was broken away from the feel and flow of life for so many years.